Sales is a very interesting thing because it doesn't matter how good you get at actually trying to convince somebody that they need something. It can only go so far. The key, I think, with sales is making sure that you're passionate about what you're selling, you believe in what you're selling, and you're putting yourself in front of the person who potentially wants what you're selling. If you're getting on calls or you're sitting down in consultations with the wrong person, it doesn't matter how good you are at sales, you're always going to have trouble selling. I know that some people are super good at selling and they can kind of convince people into things, but it's incongruent in the long term and it's not going to succeed in business. I think the first time I noticed that I could sell reasonably well was when I had the same system that I was using over and over to the same kind of person over and over, and my conversion rate was almost 100%. And it's like, well, other people were trying to sell the same program or the same product, which was the wellness program at the time, but we weren't having the same success. And the key difference there was I had the right person in front of me. So you still have to have the right person to make your sales easy. But the second part about that is still got to make sure that you know a process of what you're doing, whether you want to call that scripting or not, but you do need to have a set structure of the right questions along a right journey to get them to a point where they know they have the problem and they know that you have the solution. And I think that's a big missing thing where people think about sales. They just get in front of people and talk about what they've got. But if the person, often, especially in health and wellness, often people don't realize how extreme their problem is. They haven't thought about it. They haven't asked the person question, or they haven't been asked questions like, if you carry on doing what you're going to do, where will you be in the next 6 months, next 12 months, next 5 years? They haven't explored those options before. So when they stop and think about it, all of a sudden they're like, shit, probably worse, probably not in a good place. If they've already expressed to you that they are in a bad place, and now they know they're going to be in a worse place, it's unethical for you not to offer your service and solution if you've got one. And that's really what it comes down to. If you've got the right person in front of you that you can actually help, and you've identified together that you've got a problem and the solution that you've got will work, then really it's just a logistical process to go, okay, well, I can help you. Do you want to see if we can make this work? And from there, it's just working through the financial situation from there. Some people say, hey, absolutely, here's my credit card, let's go. Some people may not have the money right now to do that. So it's really up to you to go, well, what are the logistics that we can put in place to get that across the line? Often earlier on, I teach people to not to try to sell upfront high ticket, because we sell high ticket, but we spread those payments out because usually they're not spending money on ads and they need to practice delivering their service. So it's like a double whammy of you get to practice your service, you get some clients that you can actually help, and you get better at the sales process, you get better at the delivery process, and then over time, when you start running out of time and you don't have as much time, then it becomes more important to sell more upfront. When you start putting money into paid advertising, it becomes more important to collect money up front because you don't want to run at a loss. If you run at a loss, you don't have a business, therefore you can't help them anyway. So hopefully that all makes sense. But when it comes down to sales, it's really just these key things. You need to get yourself in front of the right people. You need to have a process to ask the right questions so you can identify what their problem is, where they're going to, what's your plan moving forward to solve this problem? Is it bad enough that you want to actually solve it? And does what I offer help you? Will it serve you moving forward? And if the answer is yes, then it's a simple question of how do we make this work? Hopefully that was helpful anyway, guys.